I'd like to call to order the regular board meeting for the Vallecitos Water District, July 17th, 2024. It is 5 p.m. Before we begin, I would like to announce that members of the public may watch the meeting live via computer or smart device by going to the district's website and clicking on the Watch Live icon. However, they will not be able to participate in the meeting remotely. Members of the public may also listen to the meeting live or on their phone by dialing 888-788-0099 or 877-853-5247, toll-free. When prompted, enter the meeting ID and passcode displayed on the district website. And I've asked Jim Hernandez to lead us in the pledge.
Thank you. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Hernandez. Roll call. Directors, please indicate your attendance. We are all present with the exception of President Tiffany Boyd Hodgson, who is away, I think, at college with one of her children. So we miss her and hope she returns home safely. Do we have any additions to the agenda?
No, sir.
Short agenda today. Should go pretty quick. May I have a motion to adopt the agenda for the regular meeting on July 17th, 2024?
Move to approve.
Moved by Director Hernandez.
Second.
Second by Director Elithar. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. We have public comment. Public speakers.
No public speakers, sir.
No public speakers. Just my daughter in the audience. She didn't want me to point that out, but she's hanging out with me today visiting from out of town. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to point that out.
Oh, then she's welcome to make comments about you anytime she wants, sir.
This is one where you might want to, you might not want to have
Speaker
it.
slip right there.
We will now have a presentation. We'll recognize the Lakeside Water District on its 100th anniversary. Turn that over to
Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Vice President Pennock. So as mentioned, it is the 100th anniversary coming up for Lakeside Water District, one of our sister agencies. They will be 100 years on August 10th. I brought the proclamation around and got signatures from some of the board members before the meeting. There's also at your stations an actual announcement of their event. It is Saturday, August 10th from 10 to 1 p.m. at 10375 Vine Street out in Lakeside. And there was a specific invitation for the board members themselves. Mr. Sanders actually really wanted you to come to it. So feel welcome if you do so wish to attend the Lakeside Water District's 100-year anniversary.
Thank you. I actually might attend that. I grew up right next to Lakeside, right on the corner of, border of Lakeside El Cajon. The old Lakeside rodeos out there, El Capitan, and you enjoy complimentary hot dogs and chips. It sounds just like Lakeside. I love it.
Right.
Wonder if it's still right there. It is on Vine Street. So I think I might go. Thank you.
Sure.
Any questions, comments? All righty. Thank you for that. We will now, let's see, consent items. May I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented? Or if you want to poll anything, if you want to poll anything from the consent calendar?
Motion to approve?
Moved by Director Grissett.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Second?
Second.
Second by Director Hernandez on the consent calendar. Please vote. Motion passes. Thank you so much. So purpose of this one is we have a public hearing. Agenda item 2.1. Public hearing to adopt a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Vallecitos Water District approving the sewer service fees to be collected on the tax roll for Improvement District A for the fiscal year July 1, 2024 to June 30, 2025. Okay, so with that, let me read some stuff here. This is the time and place for a hearing to consider adoption of a resolution of the Vallecitos Water District approving the sewer district fees, as I just read. Notice of the public hearing was published on the in the Union Tribune on July 3rd and July 12th, 2024. The public hearing is now open. General Manager Gumpel, will you please provide details on this?
Yes, before I hand this over to our Chief Financial Officer, Wes Owen, this public hearing is for the purpose of public input on the sewer service fees being collected on the tax roll for what we call Sewer Improvement District A, which is our sewer-only customers. So with that, Wes?
Good evening, Vice President Penick, members of the board. This is an annual item, as you know. And at the June 5th meeting, the board elected to continue to collect the IDA revenues on the tax roll through Resolution 1674. Tonight's meeting, the public hearing is just to sort of order the collection of that revenue through the tax roll. And with that, staff recommends adopting the resolution to do so.
Short and sweet, thank you. Okay, any member have a question, comment? Directors? Nope, we're moving right along. Does any member of the public have any questions for staff? No. General Manager Gumpel, did you receive any written comments from the public prior to this meeting?
No, we did not, sir.
No comments from the board, no comments from the public, no comments from the, okay. There is no other persons wishing to address the board. The hearing is closed. Is this how it usually goes?
Yes,
Thank you.
for this item.
Okay, that was pretty quick. Does any member of the Board of Directors have any further questions or discussion? All right. Does any member of the Board of Directors wish to move adoption of a resolution of the Board of Directors of the Vallecitos Water District approving the collection of sewer service fees on tax roll for Improvement District A for fiscal year July 1, 2024 to July 30, 2025?
I'll move. I'll second.
Moved by Director Hernandez, seconded by Director Elithart. Please vote. As motion passes 4-0 with Tiffany Boyd-Hodgson absent. And with that, moving right along here, there's no more action items. We have reports. First, we'll hear if there is any reports by General Manager.
Yes, thank you, Vice President Penick. We have a few items. First off, at 9 p.m. today on Rancho Santa Fe Road near Linda Vista, we'll be doing night work. We'll be replacing an 8-inch fire service valve. Crews already did some of the prep work on digging this, so tonight we're hoping to replace the valve and button up the site. Also, I want to basically send congratulations to staff and to the board. We reaffirmed our AAA rating. So the finance department, Wes and his team did a great job, but it's also a compliment to the board because of the policies and the hard decisions the board's willing to make. Because when a rating agency looks at our finances, they look at quantitative data, like our numbers, our days in cash, our financial health, but they also look at qualitative data, our board's willingness to make tough decisions, stand by policy, stand by fiscal responsibility, and we've demonstrated that. So our AAA, we have a AAA rating with a stable outlook, which is great news. Along the same veins, we also received the ACFR award. And Wes, will you tell me what ACFR stands for, please, again?
Yes, sir. It's Annual Comprehensive Financial Report.
So this is a finance award, and I think we've received this award a number of years in a row now.
This is the 4th year in a row we've received the
So,
award.
and this is for outstanding financial transparency and reporting. So this is just goes along with the accommodations and also Wes and his team for doing that, and the whole management group supporting that, following our processes, and basically ensuring that we have clean audits and good financial standing. So congratulations to Wes and his team.
And I stand
Congratulations. Great
corrected.
job.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
job.
I stand corrected by myself. It's actually the 5th year in a row. The plaque back there with the gold symbols on it, we've got 4 of them. We haven't received the 5th one yet, so this will be the 5th year in a row.
This will be the 5th year in a
So
row.
I had to count to get
So
it.
Wes, the pressure's on to do it every year.
Yeah, we will. We'll
Okay.
keep doing it.
Thank you.
Another milestone that is, may not come with a plaque, but is maybe equally as important and very near and dear to our operations manager's heart is this week, and maybe even as of today, we have no more chlorine gas at our Meadowlark treatment plant. So
Zero gas.
as the board is aware of, chlorine gas is an acute hazard and a risk. It has risk of human life, not only to our employees, but to the community around it. And this is our last site. We got rid of chlorine gas. We're on a temporary liquid sodium hypochlorite solution for treatment there right now. And of course, the board awarded at the last board meeting we had the contract for the permanent solution to be installed.
Is that the first time since we've been established that we've had no gas?
There's 5 sites that had it when I started here. That's the last one,
35 years ago.
35 years.
Yeah. So.
Thank you, good job.
Last couple items. Let's see. One thing that's good news, and President Boyd Hodgson's, at her urging, I contacted the city to do a joint letter between Vallecitos and the city that could be used by homeowners to give to their insurance companies about the ratingness and the fire readiness of our systems. So in other words, we have a level 1 rated fire department with the city of San Marcos, and now with the new helipod, we have another basically tool to keep fire from spreading and suppress fires in the area. So this is a joint letter between Vallecitos and the city of San Marcos Fire Department that is being drafted, and Chris is working on with that with the city currently. That will come back through a committee and then be presented at the board. It'll be available for any homeowners to use to give to their insurance companies, especially with some homeowners seeing higher insurance rates or being canceled. There's no guarantee that it will make sway any decisions from some of the insurance companies, but it definitely can't hurt. So this is something that we're moving forward, and we're hopefully in the next month or so, when we get the letters drafted, go through committee, we'll bring it back to the board.
Thank you.
And last but not least, I'm going to be out of town August 6th through the 11th. So I'm going to miss the Lakeside event. But the board meeting that's, I believe, on the 7th will continue. And Jason Hubbard will take the helm on that one. So be gentle to him, but go ahead and put a little fire in them. I want to see him squirm just a little bit. I'll watch the video later. So.
Is he gonna wear a tie?
So.
I won't, but you will.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. So just a quick, can I make a comment on that?
Yes.
So maybe I can get together with you and with Chris, because I know a little bit about that, the homeowners' rates and what they're being hit with in San Marcos. There's one thing that'll truly help, instead of just, a letter. We need to meet certain criteria to consider our community. It's called a fire-wise community. And there has to be certain criteria that needs to be met, and that would help, that, the helipad would met. So I'll talk with the Department of Insurance to see what other criteria can be met for us to be considered a fire-wise community, and then that'll truly help rates drop for members of the community.
Okay, what I'll do is we'll get something initially drafted, and then we'll schedule a meeting with you to kind of help fill in the blanks, and then obviously do an iteration of that draft from there.
Yeah, because a lot of companies won't write, so you have to be written through the California Fair Plan, a state-funded program, and they'll lower the rates if you're considered a fire-wise community, and that's up to fire
Several
departments, water districts, things like that, that will qualify for that lower rate system, so that'd be good.
Absolutely, thank you.
Cool, thank you. District Legal Counsel, Nick is here, thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, board members. Just a quick report. On Monday, the California Court of Appeal issued a decision in a case that we were watching called Cozy here versus Otay Water District, which is we've been paying close attention to because it has to do with Prop 218 and tiered water rates. The decision came out relatively quickly after oral argument. The outcome was, we thought, sort of likely, but what ended up happening was that, in short, the Court of Appeal affirmed the trial court's conclusion that Otay's tiered water rates violated Prop 218. The reason, they said, was that there was insufficient evidence in the Prop 218 record that the tiers were cost-based. The court found that Otay had failed to establish the price point for each tier based on its actual cost to the district. Additionally, the court found no evidence in the record that customers in the higher tiers were actually using water at peak demand, which was one of the justifications for why they invalidated the tiered rates. We anticipate that the case could potentially create an increase in Prop 218 litigation going forward, or provide a model for future plaintiffs, firms or plaintiffs. However, it's unclear whether future courts would look to this case as just a case by itself about this particular record, or kind of apply the principles from this case more broadly and look with more scrutiny on tiered rates generally. So the implications will sort of shake out over the next coming years and what types of litigation this may or may not lead to. At the very least, the case reinforces the need to have a strong record and as well as to consider what types of procedural defenses and approaches you can take to try and either reduce your exposure to litigation once you have adopted your rates, such as having a validation action. And then as always, our office will continue to work with staff on future water rate studies and Prop 218 studies as they come forward and making sure that the district is in the best position possible depending on your rate structure.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's good to see you.
You too.
San Diego County Water Authority.
Yeah. The board had their June meeting on the 27th of June with one significant board action, and that was to approve a partial rate increase to match the effective Metropolitan Water District increase. The July board meeting is next week on the 25th, and I anticipate more deliberation on the remainder of the rate increase for calendar year 25. So anticipated that we might expect a total of around 15 to 16% for an effective rate increase. But who knows? We'll wait and see.
Well, thank you for the good news.
Yeah.
Let's see, Encino wastewater, was there,
Yes, we had our capital committee meeting this morning, and we discussed the primary sediment basin rehabilitation project award for $4.4 million. And we also talked about the 2025 annual SCADA support services, another contract that was awarded. And then we also talked about the site security control project contract award, which was awarded also this morning. There was no general manager's report, and we were done.
Thank you. And there was no policy and finance committee meeting yet, so we'll have that later in the week. Standing committees? Anybody meet? No?
All right.
Directors' reports on meetings, conferences attended?
Thank you,
Director
Vice
Grosset.
President Pennock. I attended the One Water Council meeting yesterday, where they discussed a number of different things about the importance of utility partnerships and recognizing that regionalization and consolidation are essential tools for solving water problems. And they had a guest speaker from the EPA who was discussing the water system restructuring assessment rule that's coming up. There's a lot of uncertainty around it, including their concern for localities giving up control of their local water. The EPA does not feel that the proposed rule addresses this accurately, so they're looking for public comment and reworking it. I was also curious if they would comment on the Supreme Court ruling for the Chevron. I was hoping that you might chime in on that too. It didn't come up and they didn't take my question on it, but I'm curious on how this all changes the dynamic of the water world. You have any quick comment on that?
I think we're likely to see, so for those not familiar, the Chevron case, or the overturning of the Chevron precedent, I should say, kind of shook up what has been some of the foundational principles of administrative law and when administrative agencies can put forward regulations under authority Congress has granted to them. And the Supreme Court has significantly reined in that authority. I think we're likely to see a future shakeout. We don't know how far it will go because this is basically a Supreme Court precedent that has been in place for decades, and we don't know how the lower courts will interpret it, which types of regulations might be attacked first, those sorts of things. So I don't have any specific details or insights about where it might go, but this is sort of a first step in that direction of potential significant changes in that direction.
Lots to come, it sounds like. Job security for yourself there. I'll be interested to track that. And then they also were concerned about the risks of unintended consequences of changing these rules as well. And they, in particular, have a focus on negative impact to affordability, representation, equity, equality, and responsiveness. So that's their kind of core principles, and I enjoyed the conversation that was had about it. And the other question that I had for the general manager was the grant funding for Meadowlark, if you could kind of chime in on that. I know that we talked about it briefly, but if you could reiterate to the public that may be
Yeah.
watching here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been part of the North County Reuse Coalition group, and through that, we've gotten both federal and state grant funding. I think through it all, we're going to get 25% of the chlorine contact tank expansion project. That's the expansion project of the concrete portion, not the sodium hypochlorite replacement, which is the chlorine gas replacement. But that portion is, I think, about $10 million, and roughly about $10 million, and we're going to get 25% of that back, or more really, from the federal government. So we're going to get, Jason, will you help me out with the total numbers here? Okay, $4.2 million back between state and federal grant funding from that project, which is a 10 million and change project. So that's significant, almost 40% back on that. So we're looking at maximizing out that grant, and then with the coalition, looking at other opportunities in the future.
Very nice. I'd love to hear that, and congratulations on securing that. And also attended the employee luncheon, which was amazing, and just props to everyone for all your hard work around here. It really shows in what a wonderful district that we've got here.
Thank you, Director Grosset. Good questions, good comments, and echo those remarks. Appreciate the employee luncheon, and congratulations on 35 years, and Bridget did a great job, and you guys all have your trunk organizers, and thank you. Any other comments, discussion?
Yes, in addition to the employee appreciation lunch, which was excellent. Congratulations on everyone that got their awards. I also attended the Water Council lunch yesterday, and we heard from the general manager of the Water Authority, and he spoke primarily of the relationship change between the Water Authority and Metropolitan, where in the past it's been pretty much an adversarial relationship. They seem to now be on the same page and are trying to get a better workflow. So that was good news to hear. That was all.
Thank you, appreciate it. Any future agenda items? If not, it is 5:22 and this meeting is adjourned.